So in this video we're visiting Fort Paull, which is just outside Hull on the banks of the Humber Estuary. It's a new location for me. I've in the past few months moved from Kent up to Lincolnshire, and I was looking to get my miniature traction engine fixed, and I saw advertised the Fort Paull miniature traction engine and station engine rally. It's an interesting place, although sadly they lost a lot of them. In fact, I think they lost all of their exhibits and have only recently reopened in the last year or so. Apparently the site was closed and everything was auctioned off, and they used to have a large transport plane here and things like that. It's got quite a bit that you can explore, which I'll explain as we go around. It's an ideal place for the miniature traction engines because it's got the grass rally area that you can see here, but the fort is actually a pentagon, and within the walls of that pentagon, around the perimeter, there's a road which you'll see in a little while when we get to the miniature traction engines. Now that road provides an ideal place for the traction engines to play and give rides and etc. And it creates a circuit within the fort. There's quite a lot here to do, but obviously we started here with the stationary engines, and I was pleased to see how many of them were actually running, and there's nothing worse. Stationary engines generally don't get a lot of people looking around them, but it's worse when they're not running. People want something that they can actually see and watch the owners getting them running. So this was actually quite an interesting show in that respect. And there was a good number of engines, some of which I've never seen before. What you'll see, you can see the fence up in the top left hand corner. You can climb up onto the mounds where there are lookout posts and things, but you can also go down into some of the storage rooms and tunnels, and they would have been accommodations for the soldiers in many years gone by. The fort, I believe, was originally built in Napoleonic times. It was last used really in World War II, when it was used as a place from which they provisioned particularly the Russian fleets, I believe. And so it's got quite a history to it. I enjoyed chatting to a number of the owners of the engines, but most of them seem to be associated with the South Yorkshire club or group, and I believe the guy who arranged all this was actually from that group. I was told there's a group of miniature traction engine owners or enthusiasts in Lincolnshire, but I haven't been able to track them down yet. So if anyone knows, then drop me a message on this video. What I've really missed coming away from Kent is that there was a local group, an informal group of traction engine enthusiasts who were associated with a Facebook group, South East Finnish Traction Engines, which is run by Ashley and Sarah Pettit, and they were and indeed are still arranging meetings at various places where you can have a run, and they tend to go to places where you can actually use the engines and have a run rather than just sitting around doing nothing, which happens at a few shows, unfortunately. But this wasn't one of them, and the engines put on quite a good display. There were some quite interesting engines, and here you'll see engines going round on the perimeter road inside the walls. That was an interesting lorry actually, and I've been told who makes the cabs, who can supply the cabs, but I haven't been able to make contact with them. It's a well-known miniature steam company, but I haven't had any answers to my emails yet. Hopefully that will happen in the not too distant future. There was a nice 4-inch barrel. In fact, it may have been a 6-inch barrel. I may be doing it an injustice. It was quite a large barrel, which was good. There was a few, as you can see, full-size engines, and for a location that's really just getting up and running properly this year, I think, it holds a lot of promise, and I think this could be quite a big and busy show. They do have within the walls, you can see on the left hand side there's arches. Well, there's some arches that go down under the walls, and one of those has a bar in it, but they had a number of refreshment stalls around, and they thoughtfully put quite a lot of picnic benches out for families to use. So all in all, it's a pretty good show with a little bit of variety thrown in with some of the old vehicles. And the only thing it probably lacked was, on occasions, there weren't any of the miniatures running, but a few more of the miniatures that would run around and give rides or whatever, I'm sure would be welcomed by the visitors. So, yeah, all in all, a very good show. There's one or two areas of the roadway which perhaps need a little bit of work to tidy them up, but generally very good, and the facilities are pretty good as well. I look forward to going back in the future.